Welcome to Hard Truth Stories, honest talk about life and truth. Subscribe and like.
It's truly said that nothing can be hidden from neighbors, especially when there's something to conceal. And now, I'll recount a tale of how my wife's simple reluctance to greet our neighbors led to dire consequences for her. We had moved into this rather dated condo building quite recently. It was an older condo building in a suburb of Chicago, Illinois. The condo belonged to my mom and me, and we were jointly paying off the mortgage while also renting it out. Over time, my income increased, and thanks to that, the mortgage was getting paid off much faster. It was then that my wife and I relocated here. I should mention that since the condo building has an elevator, residents on other floors weren't just unacquainted with us, they'd hardly ever even seen us. I said to an unfamiliar couple who got on the elevator with us one day. "Good afternoon," they replied, asking which floor we were going to. It turned out we lived on the same floor, and they were our neighbors right across the hall. That's how we eventually got to know them. "Why are you greeting everyone so readily? It looks kind of weird," my wife commented as soon as we were inside our condo. "I don't greet everyone, just the neighbors. And these happen to be the ones living right next door," I replied, about to give her a quick talk on the benefits of good neighbor relations. For example, being on good terms with neighbors could mean agreeing on quiet hours, or getting the okay to make some noise during parties. They could water the plants when we're out of town. They could let us know if some sketchy person was hanging around our door, and plenty of other perks. But knowing my wife's quick temper, I figured the talk would just start a fight, so I dropped it. Who could have guessed that if I'd actually given that talk, and my wife had become friends with the neighbor, I might still be dealing with my horns in our cramped elevator today. But things started falling apart pretty quickly. I work as a realtor, and the job involves a lot of driving around. Clients often want not just one viewing of a property, but multiple looks at the same ones. In short, like in so many stories like this, I was gone from home morning till night. Since my wife had just moved to the area with me, she'd quit her old job and hadn't found a new one yet. Bottom line, she was home all day. One day I got back and, glancing at the shoes by the door, noticed my summer sneakers were gone. Only my wife's shoes and the boots I'd just taken off were there. "Why'd you put my sneakers in the closet?" I called out to my wife in the living room, and looking back, I really shouldn't have said that. After that comment, my wife got a lot more careful, though at the time I had no idea why. "They're always cluttering up the floor. When you want to wear them, just grab them from the closet," she answered calmly. "Yeah, but your 10 pairs scattered everywhere don't bother anybody. Just my sneakers do?" Fine, I thought. I don't even want to get into it. I washed up and headed to the kitchen for dinner. I clearly remember we had cake for dessert that night, and that cake was the real turning point. After that, my suspicions skyrocketed. "Why's the plate wet?" I asked my wife, looking at a slice of cake starting to melt on a plate that had obviously just been washed. You can find fault with anything, sure. But these were my big, deep plates, and my wife never uses them. As for me, I'd eaten breakfast off one that morning, washed it, and by evening it would have dried on its own even if I hadn't towel dried it. "Just eat. I'm tired," my wife said. She'd spent the whole day at home and went into the other room. I sat there thinking. The weekend was coming up, and I ran into the neighbor across the hall in the elevator again. We chatted a bit, joking about all the holiday decorations people have up already. Then he asked if I could help him put together some furniture at his place that Sunday. "Sure thing," I said. "What, 2 grown guys can't handle some IKEA shelves?" I joked, and we went our separate ways. "I'm going to help the neighbors put together furniture this Sunday. It won't take long. Just letting you know so you can plan the weekend around me," I told my wife, and got a weird reaction. "These are the neighbors across from our condo?" she asked. "What's their furniture got to do with you? You always have to be running around," she said, clearly hoping I'd back out. "Maybe we've got other plans for the weekend? Tell them you're cool with helping, and if they need it, they can call." She kept going with total nonsense. Ashley, I already said yes, and I'm definitely going, I told her and went to take a shower. Hey, what's in the washing machine? I called from the shower, shining my phone flashlight into the drum and seeing our couch cover. The cover, my wife answered. I could almost hear her freeze in the kitchen. How did it get so dirty it needed washing just 4 days after I put it on? I asked, but got no answer. Friday, I wrapped up work early and headed home. When I stepped off the elevator on our floor, I smelled cigarette smoke. Great. I should tell Mike, the neighbor I'm helping this weekend, not to smoke in the hallway, at least not up here, I thought, and went into our condo. My wife greeted me all sweet at the door. You don't smell anything, I asked. Even though the smell was all over me now, she said, no. Sunday came. I texted Mike and started getting ready, grabbing my screwdriver set. I've decided to come along after all, my wife said, leaning over me. That really pissed me off. What exactly is the problem here? I snapped, raising my voice. Silence. Oh, nothing, she said quietly and went into the other room. The next 3 hours flew by. The neighbors turned out to be smart, well-read people. Into politics, current events, healthy eating. We had plenty to talk about. Now you guys should come over to our place, I said to the couple before heading out. They politely said no, not just being polite. I could tell they really didn't want to. With that vibe, I paused at the door for a second. Then I remembered I wanted to mention the hallway smoke to Mike, so I asked him to step out so his wife wouldn't give him grief too. Hey, could you maybe smoke on the balcony instead, Mike? I asked carefully. His answer floored me. I quit smoking right after the military, Andrew, he said. I just stood there. But I've come home a few times now and the hallway smells like smoke, I said, pointing toward our floor. There are no other condos up here but ours and theirs. Maybe your wife's brother? Mike suggested, closing his solid door a little firmer. She doesn't have a brother, never has, I said, and it all clicked inside. From Mike's face, he got it too. Yeah, I figured she doesn't have brothers. Andrew, you're a good guy, he said. I was surprised, and then he explained. His wife had been wanting him to tell me something for a while. But how? We'd only known each other a week. He wouldn't just corner me in the elevator. So they decided to invite me over to help with the furniture. Anyway, Mike said, we haven't lived here long, but we already know the other neighbors pretty well. One day when his wife was out walking the kid, some guy she'd never seen before came to the building a couple times. Once he buzzed in, and she thought, who knows who's coming and going? A few days later, he showed up again. She followed him discreetly and checked the elevator buttons. He'd gone to our floor, meaning your condo. Then when she got back up with the kid an hour and a half later and went inside, the hallway smelled smoky, same as that Friday. And since nobody else would be smoking there, his wife ran into yours and politely asked her not to smoke in the hallway. Mike finished, and I cut him off. Got it, thanks, I said, and headed back to our condo. As soon as I walked in, everything made sense. Why my sneakers suddenly had to go in the closet, why the plate looked like someone had just eaten off it, why the couch cover got dirty so fast right before I got home. I realized who'd been hanging out in the hallway during the day when both sets of neighbors were at work. And most of all, why my wife took an instant dislike to the neighbors for no obvious reason. I sent my wife to the grocery store, packed her stuff into suitcases, and told her she was moving out. She knew I'd figured it all out, and that the neighbors were definitely going to tell me today. So she didn't pretend to be shocked or deny anything. So yeah, I got lucky twice in this story. First by making friends with the neighbors, and second by taking out the mortgage on the condo and paying most of it off before we got married.